So it starts off with Ursa knocking at the door and off rip taking someone's head off. It's so devious I can't even show it. Block, cut him down. Block again, backhand of doom, and put the shield to his face. She doing this solo. Flipped over another one and put up the defense before throwing a shield like a bowling ball, and actually took some damage. Health bar barely went down though. I know they were sick. Took it out her shoulder and pinned bro's foot to then chop him up, and gave dude a closer look at the shield. Runs in, Sparta kick into a spin, call her LaMelo the way her bag deep. Pushed off two more, smacked him, and cut down this loser. Tosses bro into his friend, said get that weak shit out of here, and started getting jumped crazy. She pulled up to the gate 50 deep, but the backup took like 10 years to finally pull up. And even then, her shield was getting pummeled so bad, her son had to show up to save her. And after a quick nod, cause we don't say thank you, she got right back to work. Knocked one out, don't touch me, cut the leg, back up, and burned the whole fit. You need a stylist. But at this point, she was almost at the final boss. It was only a matter of time. Sprinted and took two out with ease before jumping over the hurdle to up her KD. And this so-called guard ain't really try. He like that one security guard that was just waving his hands, letting anyone pass. She makes it through to the leader, who gets up off his chair thinking he's tough. But at the same time, there's a predator lurking. Bro's got every single upgrade possible. Stealth, thermal vision, and futuristic technology just to hunt down Vikings. He not even playing on amateur, this the tutorial. Ursa is pressing the leader, telling bro her name, and bro is just like,
who are you?
And told her that she should get back to the kitchen and scrub some floors. Even her son was like, oh nah, you just gonna let him talk to you like that? And while he was talking, little bro cut him down, looking over at his mom for approval, who barely said thank you. That here nigga, damn, go get yourself a McChicken. But he gets blasted away, falling over, and the predator shows himself. And damn, bro is going up against the wrong warriors. He needs to be breaking backboards, not bones. She goes to console her son while her team is getting absolutely obliterated. Smash the girl to straight wood. Ursa gets up and tries the 2v1 just to get smacked. Kratos comes in, hit the head, and got his palmed, and his body sent through a pillar, and the predator was feeling himself. That kill was magnificent. But the son used that distraction to launch a spear to his chest, doing no damage. Ursa had to jump on its back and starts using her shield to spam attack the head. Gets tossed off and looked to her left just to see her sorry ass son under a pile of rubble. He not helping the situation, leaving her open to get hit with a blast, sending her flying out the building, falling down off a cliff into the water. I know she regrets leaving the house this morning. She swims up to get some air and sees the predator walking across the ice, stomping louder than a rod wave on stage. Them concerts must feel like earthquakes, but it can't use the thermal vision to see through the ice. This piece of trash, and I spent a band on it. She gets some more air and swims off to get out and hide, but the predator is relying on pure instinct. Up the pole and started firing at any obstacle. Its instincts are garbage. Getting hit with a sneak attack, wrapping its arm with an anchor, but it thought it had the upper hand until Ursa broke the ice, causing both of them to fall in, and the anchor started pulling him down. I know Ursa was hyped. That's tough. Her KD is marvelous. But she got her leg snatched and started getting dragged. Lost her shield, took the chain, and started tying up the predator. But it managed to get out and had her pinned down, charging up the blast. I had to look away. I thought she was fish food. But she started smiling, and I knew she was about to play some elite defense. Used the shield to block, and the predator got killed while she flew out from the ice, only to find her son laying on the ground, dying in her arms. We see Kenji equipping himself, taking out a sword, getting ready to fight his brother, while this new predator is posed up, waiting for the full moon to be out, just for this moment. Last time I seen a pose so tough was Black Suit Spider-Man. One of the guards stops for a piss and sees Kenji hiding in a log, shooting him with a dart. Getting taken out while pissing is embarrassing work. Kenji is sneaking around the rooftops after watching too much Naruto and gets spotted, rushing over to stop him from sounding the alarm, trying to take him out silently. But another one shows up, so he uses Buddy as a shield, tells him to shut up, stomps on the hammer, stabs the hand, and chops the neck. But another one shows up again, They don't know how to mind their business. So he hit him with a spin kick and stopped him from falling. But this one ripped the arrow out his hand and reached for the hammer. So Kenji used a crazy play, pulled the first one and used him to block the hammer from hitting the bell, only for the second watchtower to see him anyway. Bro started shaking his head and just dropped the guard. He throws down a smoke bomb and rushes through the army of guards to reach his target, and made sure to take the time to aura farm. Waited for the smoke to clear and was looking at the moon. I ain't even gonna lie, this fit pick so tough. Turning around, showing his brother that he's not no stranger. We've been through this before as kids. I need my get back immediately. He said, I'd bet, run it. Kicked the mannequin, almost got him, but nope. Lost the sword, but he must not know. This inventory run deep. Pulls out a second sword, but gets it blocked to then headbutt Kiyoshi, who also pulls out a sword. So now they're just staring each other down. Rushes in, loses the sword. Ooh, that was smooth. Block, leg sweep, and punts him away. Hit him with the meanest crossover I done ever seen. Threw a kunai, then another one, and kicked his gear at him, but it does nothing. So Kiyoshi picks back up his sword and takes a stance, while Kenji pulls out the chain. This is looking like a Mortal Kombat fight scene, and I'm telling y'all don't want to play me in that game. They call me an elite button smasher. The attack gets blocked, so he runs it back, grabbing the sword and pulling him in, but gets slashed. The disrespect. Grabbed it again, tossed it away, and immediately went for the headshot. If that had hit, his brother would have been in the hospital talking straight gibberish. Kiyoshi gets in close and throws Kenji off before making his way to get back his sword, changing the fight arena. Kenji loses his chain and starts running away, dodging the sword and kicking bro off the platform and starts throwing kunais at him. But Kiyoshi put on his helmet. I don't know what for, but I'm assuming it gives him a power boost. And they block again. Block? No sir. Don't run, bitch. And almost ends him right there. But Kenji had the upper hand. Started pushing his brother towards the railing and held the sword to his face, showing his superiority. But Kiyoshi ends up falling into the abyss. But something is wrong. Kenji is looking at the mural, seeing the Predator rip through and try to attack, walking him down slowly. He made sure to throw a smoke bomb and let the guards deal with it. But as you can see, they stood absolutely no chance. Speared this one to the wall. Kenji said, oh nah, and put on his hood. I ain't signed up for this. But they have that thermal vision, so he wasn't safe, having to run through the hallway, uppercut, get out my way, and stepped on the head while the Predator pieced them up and almost blew Kenji up too. I was on my toes, intrigued. Kenji was trying to hide, stabbed a foot, and started hitting the dash, jumping off a rooftop and threw two kunais that damaged the Predator, and leading Kenji to fall all the way down into some water, getting up soaking wet, and sees a helmet roll by his feet, and it's his brother, asking for a rematch. This nigga's timing couldn't have been worse. Dodge, block, dodge, block. Man, stop with all that noise. Shut your ass up. And the Predator pulls up for the sneak attack. Its ass is 7 feet tall with superior equipment, and he was camping waiting for the backstab. He's so lame. Kiyoshi pushes him out the way and almost blocked the attack, but got hit. So Kenji pulls him back, knocks off the helmet and slashes its back. They both try to run but get chained up, and Kenji is the one that gets held by the neck, getting choked out, and manages to stab the arm to protect his brother. So the Predator was confused by the disrespect. I just saw y'all fighting in the tower. Why can't I kill him too? You is just selfish. Slamming him to the ground, trying to end him for good. But Kiyoshi puts the sword through his chest and gets put in an uncomfortable ISO. Getting pushed back, backs him off and catches a right that sends him flying, opening his eyes to see a nightmare in front of him. The type of niggas girls swear are attractive just because he's tall. It tries to chain up Kenji, but instead caught its own bomb, leading it to get sent into a tree. And they both square up to move in and slash the Predator to pieces, defeating it for good. And Kenji made sure to hit the Black Panther and sit beside his family member during his last moments. Torres is out there fixing planes, but he's tired of it. He may be Latino, but he's not a mechanic. So he's trying to tell his boss that he wants to fly planes, and that motivational music came on. You are trash. You will never fly a plane. Now Get back to work, little bro. Torres was so insulted. But at the same time, planes were getting shot down. So all the pilots got up there to see what was going on, while Torres tries to figure out what just caused all that damage to the plane and almost killed his friend in the process. So Torres realizes the danger and decides to start up the last plane left and fly up to help the rest of the team. He flying a ship box, but whatever. He tries to warn them, but they weren't listening. They even saw one get grabbed and blown up, but still refused to listen to the rookie. And the whole time, they are being hunted by a predator who is literally sending spears through their chest. Yo, Torres, you got any guns? Yeah, bro, let me just... Oh, shit. Nah, no guns. But it was getting bad out there. The predator was even using the jets to burn the pilots alive. One of Torres's wings was on fire, so he decided to hop out the plane to deal with it. So another pilot went ahead to distract the predator, who simply just fired a net at the plane and chopped it to pieces. Bro stood no chance. Torres was finally able to kick the part off the wing, and in the process realized that the predator was using heat-seeking missiles, while his boss pulled up calling Torres big bro, asking him for some sort of plan. So Torres gets the idea to fly up higher and turn off the engine so the missiles would misfire, cause there would be no heat for them to follow. But the boss said, nah, I need my hero moment. Decided not to kill the engine of his plane and distracted the predator by being a sacrifice. So Torres popped up behind and started shooting down the ship and led the predator all the way through the city towards the enemy battleships, and the predator ship ends up getting taken out and Torres could fly into the sunset. Or so he thought. The ship pulled back up from the ocean and Torres couldn't believe his eyes. How is this fair? But he goes ahead and messes with the engine so that when the plane gets shot down, it would crash and blow up the ship along with it. And Torres also falls into the water. I'm seeing a pattern here. Torres goes home thinking everything is sweet until he gets abducted by a ship and gets brought to a prison cell and sees Ursa and Kenji sitting there waving, but they don't speak English, so he was saying gibberish. When they finally step outside, they're on a different planet inside a battle arena and sees the Predator King step out from his ship. This nigga is towering over his own guards. He like 10 foot tall and buff. What are these genetics? But he explains that the winner of their battle will have to fight him, the king, or else their heads will be blown off by the collars around their neck. For all you broke niggas out there, this is like when y'all's neck turned green because of that fake gold chain. But he sent them each a specific weapon. Ursa got a battle axe, Torres a gun, and Kenji a sword. Torres was looking at his gun in disbelief, gave him a gun from the 1500 and expecting him to know how to use it. Ursa tried to kill him and Kenji had to stop her in her tracks, trying to explain that they need to work together. Torres had the same idea, but Ursa was already out there trying to fight. The king was getting bored, so he pressed the button and opened up the gate, letting out a beast. One of the guards tried to poke it and got turned to mincemeat real quick, while Ursa was still fighting until she got hit with flashbacks of her son and realized that she was wilding. So Torres starts trying to explain his plan, but got interrupted mid-sentence and swallowed up whole. All he was trying to do was talk. Ursa picks up the axe and jumps up to cut it, rolls off and attacks the leg, loses the axe and finds a shield. So Kenji runs in too, slashing the back of its leg, while Torres was inside using the guard's knife to cut the monster from the inside. The crazy IQ. Kenji aims for the eye and Ursa cuts the bottom of its gut, and they finish it off with a timed attack just for the cleaning crew to pull up and sweep it off the arena, with Torres still inside its stomach. So Kenji gets back to trying to reason with Ursa. Might as well be talking to a brick wall, cause she ain't listening, and gets back to attacking him until he has her by the throat. But he's a good guy. He doesn't want to kill her, so he lets her go and gets shoved in the stomach before putting down his sword, seeing that he won't kill her. And both their collars start beeping, so they start closing their eyes, imagining what they're gonna say to their loved ones, until Torres pulls up and deactivates their collar, making their way to the king, who's just standing there menacingly, not phased at all. This nigga is way too big to be trying to act cool now, after he was just trying to make them fight so he can 1v1 the winner. Tried to get the easiest win of all time, shoots them down and backhands two of them off the bike, and now the ultimate jumping begins. Ursa gets grabbed and tossed, flips Kenji into the basketball dribble, stomps on the shield with emphasis, grabbed the head and chucked her outside. Disappointed, where is the comp? Kenji takes out the sword and hits the sneak attack and gets saved by Ursa in the process. Spin move into the sword stab. Amazing work. stepped on the back with the dirty kicks, and made the king spit vegetable juice. Cut the leg not once but twice, while Ursa smacks the shit out his skull. Stabs the chest. Kenji is seeing straight stars. Send him back home. The animators did him so dirty. Ursa takes out the sword and hands it back over to Kenji. They really have the king on his knees. He couldn't believe it. Decided to just bulldoze them onto their backs and scream in ecstasy. He still got it. He's not washed. Grabbing them by the face and breathing on their necks. About to end Kenji first, but Torres starts up the ship and sends the king flying off of them, and they both start limping towards the ship until Kenji looks back and sees the 10-foot tall menace with perfect form, throwing the spear towards them, cutting off his arm, and not in any rush apparently, just letting them get away, doing anything to maintain that mysterious image. Can't be going out bad in front of his own people, telling his minion to shoot them down, and Ursa decides to sacrifice herself, jumping out the ship, dodging the swing, and destroying the machine, giving them the chance to escape.